Hello there. This is Rom Wills coming back at you with yet another video. And today I have the beautiful Bridney Martin on here with me. And we're going to just chop it up. Y'all hear enough from me. Y'all got to hear from a lady's point of view. And we're going to talk about a young lady's view on becoming a select man. So how you doing, Brittany? We haven't done this in a long time. How you been?
I am good. We haven't done this in a long time. Has it been years? Has it been years since?
A year or so, but you're
Yeah.
looking beautiful and everything. I know guys, they just looking, they ain't even hearing me, they just looking at you. They just been like, hey, yeah, okay, Uncle Ron, we don't care what you say.
And
We
you the one with the big following. You know they listening to you. They want to know what tea you got.
Yeah, and they're gonna be listening to me more today, but I wanted to talk with you about from a young lady's point of view, a beautiful young lady's point of view on what it takes for a man to become a select man. Because look, one of the things I get
Mm.
whenever I talk about young men doing something, really doing something, they'll say, yeah, women don't pay attention to me. Women don't pay attention to me. And, okay, if they trying to get with a beautiful young lady. What do you have to say about it?
Well, Rom, I've seen your videos and I've seen the comments that they are leaving, and they are saying, "Oh, that doesn't work," or "Women aren't going to look at that. Women aren't going to pay." And so you're already given the content, and really, I mean, all I can do is almost reiterate. One of the things you press most is body game, body heavy on the beat, body game. And I think you mentioned it so much too. You got to be tired, and it's so important because not only does it change how you present, it changes how the clothes that you wear fit on you. It changes your confidence. It changes your stature. I mean, it actually does things for you mentally to de stress you, multiple things, not to mention just even being in the gym. You're actually exposing yourself and putting yourself out there to other gym goers that are regulars. And it does multiple things for you. So I would start there. Like, it's cold outside. There's no way you shouldn't be in the gym right now.
But some guys don't care about that. And indeed, some guys say it, well, it's just a face. Women ain't looking at everything else. But what I always say is, the body game is the foundation for everything else because, of course, y'all like style too, but they still have to look good in their clothes. They still
Mhm.
look good in their clothes. And I've talked to a lot of women. If you could talk about style real quick, how much y'all like a man's style?
You know what? It really impacts a lot because, it perception is real. People don't know your character, how you think, how you speak, articulate yourself, or anything before they actually start talking to you. And the reality of it is people come up with their perceptions of us when we are across the room before we ever open our mouth. And
Mm.
so if you are not presenting well, and we're not telling men to walk around in suits all the time. You can be casual and still have sex appeal. I call it grown and sexy. You can still be grown and sexy looking and without being done up. And everybody doesn't have a sense of style. Not every man does. But there are so many opportunities to go into a clothing store and ask one of the retail associates, "Hey, I'm looking for a wardrobe that represents this." Or you could go on Pinterest, or you could one way I have suggested to guys before is if you're in a male clothing store, see if you can ask a woman, "Hey, what are your thoughts on this piece?" Because now you're sparking up a conversation. You're asking her about what she likes. That might be a potential date. It's style matters. The way you represent yourself and put yourself out there, it absolutely matters.
And that's a real talk right there. Now, one of the things I'm famous for saying is, Y'all ladies love a man with some shoes. Talk about the shoes part. Some guys don't realize that how much y'all be checking out a man's shoes.
Put it this way: have you ever walked up to a woman and she did this number right here?
Well, I
Yeah.
have. I don't know about some of the guys on here, but all right. So what are y'all doing? Y'all looking at the man's shoes?
She want to see if you look dusty. She want to see if you look put together. You know what I mean? Like she want to not, and it's not even about brands. It's not about $1,000 pair or anything. It's like if do you look put together? Do you look like you somebody? Do you look like somebody she want to sit across the dinner table with? You know?
Mm. Mm. Now that's interesting what you said there. Somebody she wants to sit across the dinner table with because what okay, if we're talking about select,
Okay.
what would you consider select? What would you consider a select man?
One thing every select man has is they exude confidence. They got that confidence game down packed. And if they don't got it, then they at least faking it well. They are confident, they're put together. You can never catch them not smelling good. Okay.
Mm.
They gonna have on some good cologne that just like I said before, it goes from the nose to the you know where. And then they gonna always fresh cut, you know. You don't have to if you're not a guy that has guts and get manicures, at least gonna have clean nails. They're gonna be put together, you know, the car be clean, they pull up, the car's clean. They just put in the effort, you know. Might have on some shades that match the outfit. They just look good. You know, they put the thought into their presentation. They taking care of their skin, they taking care of their body, you know. That's something that I see as a commonality. And without them saying a word when they walk past, you kind of have an idea that's a select man.
Well, hold up, because some guys will hear that, but then
Huh.
they'll say they feel like, well, hold up, they got money, they can provide, they can do all this nice stuff, but they might not fix up as much. But,
Mhm.
you know, I mean, what do you say to that when they say that? They'll say, well, I'm a good provider and I have a good job and all of that, but women aren't checking me out. What would you
Mhm.
say to that?
I think that's such a good thing to highlight because that's real. That is a real thing that's going on out there. It's like, okay, I have those things that women say they want a man, but like you said, they're not checking for you. You're fishing with the wrong bait. You know,
Mm,
she still got, there still has to be a draw. We might not be as visual as you all, but we are still visual, you know? And so putting yourself out there or taking care of your body, presenting well. Why don't you want to present well? Why don't you want to put forth the effort, especially if you really do want to attract a woman and you want to attract a woman with a certain look, a certain sex appeal, a certain way of carrying herself? Why would you not put in the effort to put out the right bait? Me, for example, I think that I am a woman of substance. However, I know the men that I like this dress size right here, so my behind is going to be in the gym. I know that they like a woman put together, so my hair is going to be done. You know, I know that these are the kind of things that they like, you know, so why would I then expect to attract them and then do the opposite and then get upset when they don't pay me any attention because I've let my body go, because I've gotten, or I'm walking around never with my hair done, or, I'm not smiley and engaging and looking like I'm approachable. Why would those men talk to me? So it's the same thing with the woman. You're fishing with the wrong bait.
well, see, that's the thing a lot of guys don't really get. They don't really get that bait part
Mm.
because they'll think, oh, well, I can have all of this, or how come they not paying attention? Or I'm gonna tell you something I found. Like I get
Mm.
some guys in my comments and they'll say, well, I'm doing this, I'm doing all this for the women. But see, I can't really see them. I can't really see them. And even some guys will even go to other men to check them out. And I was like, if I ever did something like that, I would have a crew of women to check a guy out.
That's right.
y'all looking at men totally different from the way a man's going to look like at another man, especially a heterosexual man. Like
Mhm.
y'all be checking out all these things, some of the stuff we ain't even thinking about. Like I remember a young lady, she had been on here too. She had talked about posture,
Mm.
and that's a serious thing. Like how a man is walking, is his shoulders up or is he slumped?
Yeah. Mhm.
Y'all be looking at little things. I mean, and y'all do it in like 3 seconds. That's what kills me. Y'all can do that real quick. And a lot of guys still can't figure it out. And then they were like, I'm such a nice guy, though. What she's not interested in finding out, especially for an attractive lady. Y'all got a
Mhm.
bunch of guys coming at you. You got, especially, okay, you understand. You probably got about 20 men coming for you every day.
I don't know about 20, Rom. I don't know about 20.
Nah, you got okay, 30. My fault. I shouldn't have put the number down. Always checking you out. Like I know some guys gonna be looking at you and like, hey, what's your website and everything. Her link is in the description box, y'all. So just check it out.
So I want to speak to the posture thing that you mentioned.
Okay.
I'm gonna use you for an example. I have many a time seen you in your videos walk. One thing you're gonna have is a confident stroll. Your head be up and high. You're observant the room around you. The walk presents as if you're not intimidated of who necessarily is in the room, and you're not saying a word when you're doing it. And you guys can go back to several of his videos when he has just kind of walked in, and it's not anxious, it's calm, it's assured, it's
Mhm.
masculine. That's what we're talking about when it comes to the walk, versus head down, slouched under. You look unsure, you look uncertain,
Mhm.
you look defeated before you began, you know. And I think if they want a reference to that walk, it's not too macho, it's subtle and still masculine. I think they can refer back to the videos that you've done when you're just casually walking, but being yourself, but being your assertive self, but quietly.
And I can feel that because when you were talking about that, I remember a guy I knew back in the day, and he would call himself a ladies' man. He was like he knew the game, but then whenever he approached women, he'd be all goofy and stuff. And I was just like, I just look at him and was like, huh?
All
Like I
right.
know he was one around this one very beautiful woman, and he was just goofy, and
Mhm.
they had met, and it was a situation. He was coming into where I was working at this gym, and he was walking. He was looking all goofy, and she was looking like, "Get me out of this." And I was like,
Right, right, right. Like,
"Goodness."
I guess the execution in his mind did not actually come out, in reality or whatever. It went better in his mind.
Yeah, exactly. And I'm gonna tell you what with that. Like fellas, y'all listen to everything Brittany's telling you. She's telling y'all. She's telling you because you see that with a lot of guys. Like one of the things I try to tell the fellas is how much y'all be looking at a man's body language, just like you said. Y'all be checking out all of that. Y'all just don't, it's not even so much what we say, but how we looking at them, what we thinking, because I knew this guy and he just had negative things to say about women when he wasn't around them, but then
And
wondered why he couldn't get it.
wow, yeah. It's all in your aura. And they're
Mm-hmm.
usually the reason that they're having so much negative things to say is because they're disgruntled because they haven't been successful. But are you actually putting in the work to be successful? Are you self-assessing about why there's failures? You're the only commonality in those situations with
Mm-hmm.
women. And so, are you going to keep trying the same tactics and then just saying to hell with all women, or are you going to make some adjustments and see if those work?
Mm. And that's something I say all the time. If I tell guys, I tell women too. I say,
Mhm.
hey, if you having trouble with 20 people, the only person they had in common was you. So if a
Yeah.
guy keep running into all these women, keep having this problem, he has to look at himself. And
Mm-hmm.
that's why, on my channel, I don't go in on women on this channel for that
Mm-hmm.
reason. It's like a man has to build himself up. And,
Mm-hmm.
one of the things though that does get on my nerves, it really does get on my nerves. Guys will come on here and they'll say, all these women ignore me, ignore me. I'm like, man, they got 4,000 videos. What are you doing? And you obviously want a woman or you wouldn't be here. Why
Right.
don't you listen and try to do what I say? Like body game, for example. There was a young man who was at one of the gyms I used to work out at. When I first saw him, he didn't have that good posture or anything. All he did was just kept working out for a year, and I saw a difference in a year. He was walking
Mm-hmm.
stronger, everything, how he walked, everything, how he looked at people, everything changed. And all he did was just work out.
Mm-hmm.
Body game is more than it goes beyond, have a certain amount of body fat or muscles. Those are good, but it's about being comfortable in your own body. Just
Absolutely.
being comfortable, just being comfortable. And why don't we talk about something else? Because one of the things is I had some guys online, they'll talk about body game, but y'all like different bodies. Talk about
Mm-hmm.
that.
Ooh, different bodies. Oh my God, the my body preferences have altered over the years. I used to like skinny. Now I couldn't. I wouldn't be able to stand a skinny man. And
Mm.
I used to like super chisel. Now I'm like, I don't mind. I've never been a plus size girl. I've never. Sorry. I've never been for that. However, like I don't mind what is called. Don't judge me, y'all. I know it's called a dad bod, but a dad bod can get the business. Okay, I get the dad bod the business. Okay, I do. I like what I like. You know what? Dad bod look like. Ooh, I bet he got a mortgage and he keep his lawn manicured. And he probably got a life insurance policy and a 401k, and he take care of business. I like a dad body be giving me grown and sexy, and it doesn't have to be chiseled. Now, again, I'm not saying like, oh, beast or anything, but like still looks good in his clothing, still, together. But if there's like a little bit of a little belly, a little extra fat, like, fine, that's fine.
What's funny about that? Because I've heard other women say the same thing. Because
Mm-hmm.
y'all be looking at that and just everything you're thinking about. You're thinking, oh, okay, he got his stuff together and everything. And because different women, one thing I've seen, different women will like different bodies. And
Mm-hmm.
like you said, it can change over the years. It can
Mm-hmm.
change. Like you said, you went from one to the other,
Mm-hmm.
as long as they not obese or something. I mean, and actually I knew a young
And some
lady.
women like that. Some women like that too, you
Yeah,
know.
no, I met one like that. She said that dude had to be, and she was tiny too, but that she said men had to be clinically obese, like stomach hanging out and everything. But that was her. And one of
Yeah.
the things I tell men is just get your body in the best shape that you can for it, and then see which women like it,
Mm-hmm.
because y'all definitely looking. Now, you can still get some guys who think they'll say, no, women just looking at a face. But y'all looking at the whole package. Y'all looking
Mm-hmm.
at everything on a man. I mean, seriously. And you were talking about that. Y'all looking at every single thing. And it could be one thing a man think he doing well, but then something else is just missing. He
Right.
y'all might be looking at him and yeah, he might be muscular, but he might have some run over shoes or something. And y'all know y'all be like, y'all know y'all love some shoes. They just run over scratchy or the clothes. He could be handsome, but then his clothes are wrinkly and stuff, or they ain't fitting right. My man,
Right.
bruh man out there with some clothes on. Yeah, I love bruh man though, but I'm just saying no, they too tight.
Right, right. No, I don't know why they heavy on the no, it's the face. It's like you tell them and they still just be like, no, I'm gonna be resistant to information. Because there's some very just average looking faced guys out here, but have other things going on. I see them all the time with their girl on their arm, walking around the grocery store, walking around in the mall, walking around just going to the movies, in everyday life, doing everyday kind of situations. You know, something else I thought of that a select man has. A select man got some good social skills. You can find them out at like networking events. You
Mm-hmm.
can find them solo dolo by themselves at a happy hour, mixing and mingling and seeing who's there. They might even be a regular.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, a select man knows how to pick up on social cues and those kind of details. He can read a room, you know, and those are things that you actually gain by being social. So when I was doing consultations with some of my guys, one of the things that they had in common is, yeah, don't go nowhere.
Mm. Mm.
Yeah, well, I don't like, and it's the same thing with women sometimes where they like, oh, I want a good man, but they don't go anywhere. Like the person is not going to kick down your door and present, or you know, maybe if you're lucky enough, they Amazon or UPS. But unless that happens, you're not putting yourself out there, which means you're also not practicing being social. You're not practicing engaging. You're not
Yeah.
strengthening your social skills. A select man has social skills.
Yeah, I don't think a lot of guys get that. Because you still get some guys thinking, oh, as long as he's just handsome, you don't have to have social skills or something. I'm like, what planet you on? You still got to talk. Because
Yeah.
what do y'all always say? Y'all say he was all right till he opened his mouth.
Uh,
And I tell guys to practice talking. I say, what I'll tell them is try to say hi, just say hi to 3 women a day. 3 women a day. Just say hi, minimum 3 women. And all of them ain't gonna say hi back. But the beauty of it is they will develop their skills. They have to develop that. Because even, what if they see that woman who is just super fine? They can't
mm,
be nervous or anything. They can't be like thinking about it too hard. They got to be able to approach that woman and be like, "Hey, how you doing?" Just how you doing. They don't have to have any like fancy line or something, because now you can tell me you're a beautiful young lady. You prefer a man just come up and just be friendly, just say hi. He don't have to do anything crazy, right?
a regular conversation, just like you would a regular person. You guys are overthinking this. You guys are over, and it's self sabotage, is what it is. And it speaks to like I've heard so many men, even online, Rom. I'm talking about they are really trying to like in cold approach, and I'm like, but why? I think I love how like older men, whether they was gonna get shot down or not, if they wanted you, they was coming, they was gonna shoot they shot, they whether they get told no or not, they was gonna say
Mm-hmm.
what they wanted to say and come at you. This generation, the rejection has them in a chokehold. They get extremely bent out of shape if they're told no. And I'm like, was I the only one who had a sales job before? Whenever you work in sales, you know that you're going to get 99 no's and one yes. And
Mm-hmm.
all that one yes is all that you need. So when it comes to being out there and practicing, like you were just telling them, you're almost putting in, your bid to get your one yes. You have to have the social skills. You got to shoot your shot. You got to get over your anxiety, whether you need to go to therapy about it, whether it's
Mm-hmm.
just you to practice, or whether it's that you just have too much built up stress because you're not working out enough. All of those things could be why you're so rigid about being rejected. I mean, what is really the worst that could happen with that? She says no.
Yeah, and that's something I've seen too, because rejection, and I've talked about that before, it's a part of life. Even the top guys get rejected. You just gotta play it off. If they gotta be to the point, even if a beautiful woman says no thank you or no or whatever, just wish her a nice day and move on. Because
Yeah.
one of the worst things for men, and I've seen this, shoot, I've experienced this. You always think about it, it's like, man, I should have said something to her. It's better to say something to a woman and be rejected than to be thinking about her 2 years later. It's like, man, I should have said something. And they don't know what's going to happen. They don't know how she's going to respond. And if she reject them, I always tell guys, I did a car video talking about it. I said, you don't know why she might have rejected you. You can't take it personally.
Yeah.
Because like I know right now, I know two very beautiful young ladies who they're about to get married. So they lesbian. So they're going to reject guys. You know,
Mhm.
they that woman could have a man already. She might be going through a bad day. You still got to shoot your shot, because that same woman who rejected you on Tuesday because she was having a bad day, you might see on Saturday someplace and she's ultra friendly. But you
Mhm.
still have to go, because one of the things is that rejection thing. Guys are worried about. I'm like, why? That's a part of the game. It's no shame
Right.
in it. You don't know what's going to go on. Like I said, you don't know what's going on.
Right, you don't, and you're personalizing it, and maybe not everything is an attack on you. I think whenever you think that it is, that's a bit self-absorbed.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Rom, if you were out,
Mm-hmm.
and I love me a happy hour, can you please give these young men an example? And I was sitting there because I like to happy hour by myself. So I'm gonna give you a visual, okay? When I like to happy hour, I like a skirt or dress. I'm a heels girl, okay? My heels are gonna match my purse. And if it's warm enough, it's gonna be some heels with my toes out. I love a good pedicure. I'm gonna be
Mm.
hair done. I love good smelling perfumes and oils and stuff. So I'm gonna be sitting there by myself. It's a
Mm-hmm.
nice, it's a nice. What's that noise?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I'm sitting there by myself, you know, legs crossed, sitting there. I'm having me a glass of, I don't know, a glass of Riesling or a glass of some red wine. And I'm by myself, and there's an empty chair beside me. What do you do?
I would just walk up to you and say, "Hey, how you doing? Is that seat taken?" And just start talking with you. How you doing today? You looking great. And say, my name's Rom. What's your name? And just start talking to you. You know,
Mm-hmm.
the worst you could do is be like, "Get away from me." I was like, okay, but you still look beautiful and everything.
Oh,
Yeah.
Rom, like, what are the odds? Oh, like, I know they say that women are out here being really aggressive with their rejection, but actually, I'm just not out places seeing women going off on men that are sitting beside them. Do you see it? Because I
Um,
don't.
I never did. I don't go out like I used to, but if you sitting there, okay, first of all, if you sitting in a public place like that, you looking good, you want to talk to somebody, you
Right.
know? All the man has to do is really just walk up and just be friendly, introduce himself, find out what's going on, sit in an open chair, whatever, or ask if somebody sitting there, and talking to you, because you would not have fixed stuff like that if you weren't trying to attract.
I agree 1,000%. I told guys that when women are going into the gym with them little cutesy spandexy matchy sets,
Oh yeah.
I told them, yes, she is there to work out, but she was not there cute because she didn't want to be seen cute. She's there cute in that little matchy matchy set. Because I wear them, Rom, I wear them at the gym.
I
You
know,
know,
and thick thighs save lives.
I think that say my shorts. I wear them at the gym, and just because someone says no, or there has been women that complained before about men approaching, doesn't mean she's turned off to all approach. Maybe she was just not into that particular guy, or maybe that guy went creepily about it. Maybe he was aggressive about it, but that doesn't mean you don't shoot your shot. It's just if you are told no, you take the no in stride and say, okay, well, enjoy your workout and go. But nobody is reporting you for just approaching. They may be reporting you about being continuously aggressive and continuing to ag at them. But one approach, introducing and saying, you
Yeah.
know, can I work out with you? No one's reporting you for that. And they say that. They were like, we get reported when approaching. You might get reported for harassing, but you're not getting reported just because you approached.
Well, I would say someplace like the gym. Usually, if usually I just let it flow. I let it flow. I don't go out my way to talk to anybody, but if I see them a while, and usually they might be saying, "Hey, hi to me" or something, and I've had that happen. Look,
Mhm.
you just be chill. You just be chill. Somebody, if someone's interested, they're going to speak. You know,
Mhm. And
and
select men speak back. Select men also initiate. Initiate.
well, one of the things I've talked about too is, and this is you can tell it. You know how y'all shoot y'all shot. Y'all see that man that y'all like. Y'all might not necessarily go up and like say hi to him, but you will put yourself in a position for him to approach. If he's
Right.
paying attention, he's going to do it. But see, y'all shot your shot. Y'all probably saw that guy wherever you see him, whether it's a gym, whether it's going to work every day. Y'all saw him like weeks before.
Oh, weeks ago. Then saw him.
Yeah,
Saw him with him in the gym. Absolutely.
yeah, and all a select man has to do is pick up on it. Now,
Mhm.
okay, like you in that club, you sitting there, you got the perfume on, you want somebody to approach,
It's a
and
social thing. I
it's better
want to
you
be
figure
able
out
to
if it's you. If it's not you, okay, fine. Like if I go up to you in the club and say hi, but you say, "Oh, no, I'm waiting for somebody." I was like, "That's a lucky man. You have a good day. You're looking very beautiful, smelling very good, and just be cool with it." Because I've had occasions where I've done that, and the lady wasn't like as friendly at first, but then it was like, "Oh, wait a minute, he's being cool about it." All right,
Mhm.
and well, we ain't gonna share some of those stories, but they worked. Yeah, I'll put it
Off
like
camera. Off camera stories.
now.
And like, uh,
No, I can think of a couple times, but no, but see, if you coming in there, especially you got those thick thighs, thick thighs save lives. I'm a holler. I'm gonna be like, oh shoot, I'm in that place. You sitting by yourself, and even if you got two or three men that just they came up, I'm be like, hey, how you doing? You just got to reject me. I go with the flow, whatever.
that's how it should be. And I know I keep mentioning it, but I want to add again, walking up with good cologne, y'all.
Oh man.
That Creed smells so good to me. Oh, it smells so
Oh,
good
that's
to
what you
me.
like?
I do. I do. I
Oh
do.
man. Okay.
Who's some other good ones? Who you know of some other good ones?
Now I don't know. I'm just being. I'm one of those body butter type of people. I put.
Oh yeah, I actually showed them some body butters. Oh, some good cologne. I'm telling you, that almost softens your delivery even when you're approaching because it's like, what are you wearing? You
Mm,
know? If you wanted to just come over and sit by her before you even said hello, like let her take you in first before you even actually start engaging. Like them pheromones, that stuff is real.
nah, and that's some a lot of guys need to understand because that's one thing I did a sit down video on is it is coming out. In fact, it'll be out this morning. It'll be out this morning. From when this video is going to show. When I'm talking about cologne, and every man needs to find something that smells good for him.
Yes.
You might say Creed, but it might not work for everybody. That's okay. Try.
Hmm.
Like every man should try. Like I highly recommend every man goes to like a department store, wherever selling colognes, and get a
Hmm.
sample and try it out. And don't be putting it all over and everything. Learn how to put it on and see
And
what works.
proud. Yeah.
See what works. So you like Creed, huh? Put that on
You,
this.
you go put it on the list. Don't put it on the list and come on out here now. Don't put it on the list and come out.
Oh, okay. All right. All right. Yeah. Fly out
Um,
there and stuff. Hey, you know guys in Tennessee, they gonna be like, oh, Creed, huh? You just had a commercial for Creed. There's gonna be a bunch of guys. They looking at you like, man, get Uncle Ron, man. I'm gonna go holler at her. Get me some Creed.
we got some fans out here in Tennessee because I've been stopped and was like, I loved your video with Rom. You got some fans in Tennessee.
Oh, yeah, I know you do. You
You,
do.
you do. You do.
Yeah, yeah, but they looking at you. They gave you that bra man look, didn't they? They like, yeah, I love how you looking, huh? I better stop mentioning bra man. He might come up, be all up in my refrigerator or something.
I know. But yeah, I think
Support.
you be giving them some gems. They just gotta apply. They gotta stop being so fearful, and
Mhm.
just put yourself out there, even if you are a considered non-select man.
I'm gonna tell you something now, because I don't wanna go that long, but here's a problem I'm really having. A lot of guys feel like they non-select and that's it. They don't realize, okay, yeah, you non-select, but that's not permanent. And one of the things that you've done, if someone sits and listen and not be looking at your face and your other assets, you pretty much told them what they need to do to become select. Like when I'm
Mm-hmm.
talking body game, when you talking about style, when you talking about colognes, when you talking about being social, how they walk, you giving them the game. I'm giving it to them, but I needed a young lady to come on and tell them some stuff because, they'll think Uncle Ron don't really know what he talking about. They'll say, "Oh, you old." It was like, meh, okay, but I know what I'm talking about though.
They don't think I know what I'm talking about either. They leave in my comments, how can a fish teach a fisherman how to fish?
You're not a
That's what.
fish though. You're a human being. People see that's one thing. I hate that saying
Yeah.
because I learned a lot of game from ladies.
Mm-hmm.
I learned a lot of game. We're not talking about fish. Fish don't speak. Fish
Mm-hmm.
ain't like putting on like some 4-inch heels and stuff. A fish ain't putting on that nice tight dress or that's showing her thighs. I keep saying thighs. You know what I like. Yeah, the fish ain't like on the camera showing her assets. That ain't happening. You're not a fish. I don't know. See, guys need to get off of that. In fact, you talking with a human being, a human female, a woman, a lady. They need to ask a lady what a lady likes
Mm-hmm.
because a lady will tell a man. And if all a man has to do is listen, another man might not know.
No, real. That's real. That's real.
Yeah, because
Now,
you're a lady. You know what other because look, and be real with it. You can be honest right here. Y'all know y'all be talking about us and talking about sex and all that stuff when we not around y'all.
all the time. All the time.
Yeah.
All the time.
Yeah, I know how y'all do.
All
Shit.
right.
That's why I tell some men it's not a bad thing to have a lady friend, just a friend. Some
Mm-hmm.
just don't like that. I was like, no, just have a couple, at least one, maybe two or three, hopefully, that you're not doing anything sexual with, but they can tell you everything.
Mm-hmm.
They can hook you up because I've had women I was just totally platonic with, but they will hook me up with other women. They would
Mm-hmm.
say, "Hold up, Rom, she checking you out, or Rom, she don't like this little thing, or she don't want to deal with this little thing, or if you do this, Rom, or you need to get those shoes right, you know,
Mm-hmm.
you need to do this. What you need to do." See that whole fish, yeah, I ain't getting that. See those guys, they will stay non-select. because
They not.
body game. I got that from women. Women
Mm-hmm.
were the ones who first told me about body game. Because at first, I had all that other stuff. I could dress well, could talk, all that stuff. But my
Mm-hmm.
body wasn't tight. Then when
Mm-hmm.
I got my body tight, some women who had me in the friend zone, they were like, "Oh, wait a minute, hold up." They were changing up, and they said, "Ron, it's about the body."
Right.
I learned that from the ladies. Guys gotta listen. That's why I have you on here. Even though some guys they probably had to watch this 2 or 3 times because the first time, they just staring at you.
Yeah, I mean, they do gotta listen, like you said, you got your game from female friends. I got mine from my dad and my brothers.
Oh, okay.
My dad and my brothers, because I used to be, before I was a woman that really tapped into my femininity, I could be, brass, assertive, aggressive. And I remember distinctly my father saying to me, you can get a man to do anything if if you know how to talk to him.
Mm,
Uh, and it's not what you're saying, it's how you're saying it. You know,
mm,
your feminine, soft influence can move mountains in a way that your loud footsteps can't, you
mm.
know. And so when I and my brothers, I would see the women that they would talk to, I would see the women that they would get rid of. And I started making the comparison in my life and the women that I would see, and I started making changes in my delivery, in my communication, and even when I'm angry, how I communicate with my man. And that came from men. Okay, that didn't
Mm.
come from other women. When I talked to my lady friends, I was getting more feedback like, you was right to cuss his ass out. You know what I mean? It was more that. But the men that in my life told me, no, that soft approach is gonna get you much further with him. He'll hear you much faster with your words landing softly. So it does matter for the opposite sex to be in there in your ear and helping you.
No, that's real talk right there because yeah, y'all powerful. And I've told women this. I've been in like seminars and stuff and told women just what you said. Y'all powerful. Y'all can just sit back and just cross your legs or something and get us to do whatever. Y'all know
Mm-hmm.
it. Y'all know it. That's what I'm saying. Like, please, you in that club yourself, you ain't paying for any drinks.
All right. No, I don't.
You know that. You know how y'all do. But that's powerful, but that's how y'all supposed to be. We're supposed to be the aggressive ones. Even when y'all want a man. Y'all know you be
Mm-hmm.
clocking us. Y'all say, oh, okay, he be on this street at this time at a certain time every day. And you just happen to be there. And we think we approach. I was like, nah, she done clocked you, man. She done clocked you. I've had
Mm-hmm.
several women tell me that, how they clocked a man. I've had some women tell me that. It's like, nah, Rom, I already knew about you. I already knew about you for like a year or so. It's like, oh man. You know what? We just go for it.
Yeah, I need to clock me one. I'm ready to get married. You trying to get married, Rom?
Then we'll talk out offline. We'll talk
Okay.
offline. Yeah, we'll talk about that later. Anyway, but don't want to go too much longer. Look, a select man. Now, what is one question? How many men you feel out there, percentage wise, from your view, are select?
How many?
Yeah, like what percentage you feel like are select? Be honest with. Be honest
No,
with it.
you know what? I'm gonna say like I see maybe like 15. I see a few confident ones and a whole bunch of uncertain ones.
Mm.
Yeah, that's the one I'm gonna go with. A few confident ones and a whole bunch of uncertain ones that could be select if they would just do the work.
Oh, okay. So there's room for more. There's
Of
there's
course,
okay. Because
absolutely.
That's the thing, because one of the problems I'm seeing is a lot of guys, they stuck into that non-select thing. In fact, I've had guys come on here and say, well, I'm non-select. I was like, no, you should be in a process of growing. You don't have to stick there, because everything you said, everything you talked about is what I've talked about too. But any man can figure out he can hit body game, and he can grow confident. He can practice socializing with women, develop a thick skin or not lose sleep over being rejected. There's so many things a man can do. A man can grow into select. And it's not about some guy being 6'2" or whatever. Or even like what you were saying about like what you like in a man. You don't mind a man, he's not like super cut, but he look like he got his stuff together. He can take care of some things.
Right. Grown and sexy.
Yeah, any man can become grown and sexy. There's nothing. And hold up. Let me ask a question, because
What?
Height. What you really think about height? What do you and your girlfriends think about a man's height?
We're not stuck on it. We're honest. I'm 5'4". Okay, I'm 5'4". I was engaged to a man that was 5'6" before. Okay. But he had a 6'7" man's confidence on him. He did. And we're not that stuck on it. Like I went out on a date with a guy not too long ago who's about 5'10", so like average height. And I don't believe the hype on the 6 foot man. If that's only a small percentage of men that are 6 foot or above, that means most women are talking to and dating men that are below that height. So I don't think that's the majority of women thinking. I think what's happening is a small pool of women that's saying no more than 6 feet. He got to be 6 feet or more. And then you're allowing them to be the voice of all women instead of, allowing that small crew to speak for us all. So we don't care. We want you to be fine. We want you to have something going on with yourself. Now, we don't necessarily want no 5 foot man either. We sent that towering over him. But have we had men that we were eye level at with our heels? Yeah, it's not that big of a deal. But he had all these other things going on that was a turn on,
Okay, so basically that's for like some of the dudes who aren't 6 feet out there. Just get your stuff together. Get all the other stuff that she has pointed out. I pointed out, but I said, let me get a beautiful young lady to point this out. Get that together and then just go for it. Because I've known some women, I've known some guys who would be considered short kings, and they tearing up. They tearing up.
I see short men with baddies all the time.
And that's the thing too. And also, just everything you said is basic. And what a man needs to do, any man listening to this, just build yourself up. Hit the gym, get a style that you have, figure out which type of cologne you have. You could try Creed. I'll try it maybe. Try Creed, try some type of cologne, get social, practice talking to women. Like I always say hi to at least 3 women a day, at least. And that's just to build that muscle. Then when you run into a young lady who you think is fine, who's beautiful, you're not scared or anything. And even if she rejects you, you're not going to lose sleep over it. You're going to be like, oh, okay, you have a nice day. Because there was a woman who said that. She said about she liked that about some brothers. What's her name? Sadia Khan. Have you heard of her?
I'm gonna check her out.
Yeah, Sadia Khan. She had said that. She said, when some brothers say hi to her or something, and she say, nah, she married or something, they be cool and stuff. That's how you gotta be. Because like I said, you can't take it personal. Well, you can't take rejection. I think that's one of the biggest issues too many men take rejection personally. It was like, you don't know what's going on, you know, because I had mentioned one time I was in one of those major stores. I ain't gonna give them any press, but I was in a major store and I saw this young lady. She was fine, but I paused for a second because then right around the corner came my husband and children. I was like, oh, okay. You don't know, but what if I had tried to talk to her or something? She would say, oh, my husband right there. Right. He could have been cool or it could have been a fight. You don't know. You can't take it personally. Like I said, I really do know two very beautiful young ladies who are about to get married. If you see them, like, they very beautiful. Like, I would say men would put them in the 8 to 10 range, but they ain't down for men. Men cannot take that personally. All a man can do is fix himself up and practice talking, build himself. Every man, that's the beauty of it. We can build ourselves. We can build. That's one thing we have. Nothing against the ladies, but we can build ourselves better. Yeah. We can build ourselves. That's why you can get some men in their 50s, 60s, even 70s and still macking like crazy because they confident in everything.
Yeah.
You know? And that's the thing. They can still do their thing. They can still do their thing. But I didn't want to go too long and stuff. Shoot, we went about a good hour just chopping it up. So anything you have final to say to the fellas out there?
No, I pretty much just reiterating what you have already been saying. And just to encourage them to get over your fears, get over the fear of rejection. And it's, if you want someone, you're going to have to put yourself out there, get out of the house, go to happy hour, gym, wherever. You're going to have to start back. Cold approach. Cold approach is not dead, and you can make yourself a select man.
Oh, okay. Well, hold up. Let me say something about that too. A lot of guys, man, we're about to like roll out, but then you said something about cold approach. A lot of guys are looking for choosing signals. Are they always going to get choosing signals?
No.
No.
Because what if she don't see you? What if she don't see you and you saw her?
Okay, and that's something I've said because I've talked about choosing in my book. But then I say every now and then you're going to run into that woman who doesn't see you. What are you going to do? She real fine. Yeah, she can make a choice when you approach her, but you still got to approach her. And even with choosing signals, you still got to approach. You got to approach no matter what. In most cases, y'all not going to approach the man. Even if you're interested. You know, y'all position yourself for him to approach at best.
Right.
But y'all still looking for that man to be aggressive, to take charge, to do something.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Okay. Yeah. All right. Now, I have Bridney's YouTube channel. What is it? Romeo Roadmap.
Romeo Roadmap.
The link is in the description box. Definitely check her out. She will tell you the real deal. And yeah, you be hiding those thick thighs though. You be hiding. You know I like thick thighs. You be hiding there. You be showing some other stuff, but some guys like what you showing, but thick thighs do save lives. So
Oh my God. I already know what you like. You a thigh man all day long. All day long.
Well, I like butt dunks too, but if you got thick thighs, I'll be like, hey girl. That's all you had to do for me. Just be someplace and cross your legs. I'm coming over. I'm coming over. You just got to reject me.
Now the women know what to do. If you see Rom out, cross your legs, some thick thighs is going to do it.
That's all you need. That's all you need. Thick thighs save lives. That's very important. That's very important. Yeah, if you smelling good, what you got on now? I know you got on something now. What you got on?
I have on some Very Sexy by Victoria's Secret.
You notice all these stores closing, but Victoria's Secret ain't closing.
Hello?
Yeah. Yeah, I know. Shit, Victoria's Secret. I know they got a local mall that's about to close down. The Victoria's Secret still getting like plenty of people in it. But
Absolutely.
huh?
I said absolutely. And they're gonna stay in business too. Women keeping them in business.
Exactly, exactly. But anyway, I want to thank you for coming on. I want to thank you, and it's good that see that you're getting better. You know,
Yes.
we both went through some stuff. It was like, but I'm
God is
glad to see it. You looking great. Seriously, you looking great, and I'm glad to hear that and see how great that you're doing and stuff. I mean, yeah, you're in Tennessee, but we can't be perfect and anything. But hey,
I know we've both been blessed health wise. God is good.
yes, 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 indeed, yes, indeed, all the time, all the time. So anyway, want to thank you for coming and um, hey, I'll get back with all of y'all later on. All right, peace and blessings.